And there it is.
Hey.
And with that, episode 5 and the first week is finally kind of starting to wrap up. Holy shit, we have no idea what we're doing here. My name is Jay. I'm the director of the Exotica Expo and makeshift director of Exotica TV. I don't know what you would call me. And to my right, Mr. Dan Davis, our director of operations on our day job. But what are you now? What's your title now? I don't know. Pick a title.
Czar of all Russias.
Ooh, that's actually a pretty good title. I'm impressed. So, welcome to Exotica TV, night 5 of our first inaugural week on air. And man, like I said, you know, what the hell's going on, Dan? How you holding up? You good?
I'm good, man. I got my. I'm in Jersey, with the second most cases in the most coronavirus country in the world. But the one thing about Jersey, also, we have PBR hard coffee.
Okay. I heard that hard coffee is good against the Rona.
Yes, that, and we have medical marijuana too, so that's good also.
You know, that's the 1-2 punch. It's right there.
Beat that, Philly boy.
I have my fish cup full of gin and tonic, and
it's happy hour.
Yeah, no, it's happy hour. It's happy hour-ish. Oh, see, I can't do that. That would be wildly illegal in Philadelphia. Would never do that.
It's totally illegal. I have my card.
Never do that, especially if I can switch off.
Never ever.
So, oh man, we've now made it five whole days. Starting on Monday, we had never really produced a TV show of any kind, and today
it's not a radio show.
We're seasoned veterans at this point.
Oh, we also had the radio show that we get to do 4 times a year on Vivid Radio, on Sirius.
Yeah. That was everything. That was how I prepared for this.
And that'll segue right into our first guest, right?
Yeah, I think so. So
our only guest tonight.
That's the plan. So we're going to be doing the happy hour-ish every Friday, or during the week, or once a week, whatever.
Or happy-ish, happy hour-ish.
Yes, and we're going to have a bunch of different people on here, from staff members to convention center people to stars to stage people to lifestyle guys that we have, the dungeon folks that we have. I mean, shout out to all those people. We miss them, and we have a really extended family on the Exotica side. So at the same time, we want to kind of feature all of them. But first and foremost, if you had to feature somebody, who would you pick? And that was who we got on tonight, who is BJ McNaughty. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
All right, well, let's bring her in. Hey! And there she is.
BJ's. There she is. Now she's honking.
What's up, BJ?
I'm doing awesome.
Where are you at?
Hanging out.
So where are you at? Where are you at right now? Are you in Portland?
I'm in Portland, Oregon.
Okay. Are you
hanging
on?
Out
Are you on lockdown?
2 weeks. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Okay, right on. Well, stay the fuck home. It's not that hard. And you get to stay the fuck home and hang out with BJ McNaughty and Dan and I, which is really a plus.
Finally, I've been so bored out of my mind here by myself. So, I'm like, yay, people!
Seriously, it's the worst part about this.
Do you do
human interaction?
Right.
Do you put your makeup on and do a clown show just for yourself and you're by yourself?
This is the first time in 2 weeks I've put on the clown makeup.
How'd it feel?
Felt awesome. I had something to do today. I feel productive already.
It's a goddamn shame. 2 whole weeks.
I'm on Couch Island.
Oh, it's not good. So are you quarantining?
So
are you quarantining alone, or are you do you at least have cats? Do you have what's going on?
Yeah, my cat. I have one cat. Just me and her.
Okay.
I think
she had two. She had 2 a week ago, but then she couldn't get out to the store.
She forgot to go shopping. Hey, listen, it happens.
So we first met BJ. We first met you when we were coming to Portland. I forgot how we met, but then and a clown who's also a stripper. What can go wrong? It was great. I mean, it was awesome. That was probably the best thing of us going to Portland was meeting you.
Thank you. That's awesome.
So
yeah, I mean, Portland is different, so you got to really do something out of the box to even stand out here. So what could be more out of the box than this?
So how did it all start? Like, walk us through the beginning of it. We want to hear the start of how BJ McNaughty came to be.
Okay, well, I've worked in this adult industry for a really long time. My first job ever was at a strip club as a cocktail waitress. Then I started bartending. I'd go in and out of normal jobs. I say normal, like, you know, the 9-to-5 thing where you get a paycheck versus you're living on the tip gig economy. And then I started working for an adult magazine here in Portland called Exotic Magazine. It's free. It's been around for over 25 years. It's paid for by the advertisers, which are all the strip clubs and adult businesses. We have a lot of those here in Portland. In fact, we have the most per capita than anywhere in the world, they say. I don't know who they are. But yeah, we do. We have a lot. There's a lot of little tiny mom and pop little strip clubs that might have 3 dancers on a Saturday night, all the way up to like bigger clubs that will have, you know, 100 girls on a Saturday night. And so my time working at the magazine was actually, I started there selling advertising.
Okay.
And the funny thing is my first job was selling advertising to all the escorts in town. And at the time, there was like 25 pages of escorts in this magazine. So it was a booming business. But then Craigslist came along, kind of disappeared. And slowly I started taking over other jobs at the magazine. I started writing articles. I did editing, anything that needed to be done. I was in charge of events. We did a lot of contests. And so one year I went to the Exotic Dancer Expo, which is basically with the Gentlemen Club Owners Expo. It happens every year in Vegas. Exotic Dancer Magazine puts it on, which is a trade industry magazine.
Okay.
And I was really inspired by the feature dancers, which are girls who get paid to travel to clubs. Clubs pay for their travel, they pay for their hotel, they pay them a paycheck to put on a big show several times a night. I saw the top 3 or 4 girls in the industry do their thing on the main stage. They were competing to see who would be Exotic Dancers Entertainer of the Year. And I wrote an article and I was like, I see so many talented dancers in Portland. Why don't any of you do this? And 3 years went by and nobody was doing it. And I'm like, I'm going to do that. So I really thought about it. What's going to make me stand out and what's going to make me go a long way in a short amount of time? And also what plays to my strengths, which is I'm funny and marketing. So I came up with this. And so far it's been working pretty well.
With this. What you see before.
I know you don't like the suit, but this.
Oh man, that's how do you find, I mean, you know, listen, we did Portland for a couple of years and Portland is weird. I mean, there's no like that's I realize like that, you know, that's
it was
what
just
everybody
1 year.
says, but you realize that it's just like the weirdest, you know, it's honestly the weirdest city that I've ever been in.
I mean, but I go everywhere. I've traveled all over the country. I've been all over Canada. I've been a couple times doing this. So people want that weirdness everywhere. I'm kind of spreading it around.
Couldn't agree
this
more.
is almost normal. But definitely we're a tourist attraction with strip clubs. We get a lot of bachelor parties coming from all over. And they want to see something weird. So I'm giving it to them.
For sure.
And luckily for me, I purposely work at a club that's a show club. So every night, the girls all put on a feature set. They all get on stage and do something weird. Some of them do like typical burlesque shows, but we all get the freedom to do whatever we want. So like I get to experiment at that club, see what works, what doesn't work. There's things that I could do there that I know I could never take on the road anywhere. Like, you know, I have a Lorena Bobbitt set I do every Monday on 90s night. And yeah, I think that's going to go over very well other places. But for some reason here in Portland, people love it.
The interesting thing about Portland was, and like for those, you know, who haven't been to Portland, so we did one show 1 year. And I think Jay and I, when, you know, obviously we go to New City, we go there a few times. We went there more than a few times just to check it out and see it. But like, there's so many strip clubs, but the law is that if you have a liquor license, you have to have food, right?
That's correct. All the bars,
yeah.
If you serve booze, you have to serve food.
So we were out there the first time we were out there, and we had met up with somebody that we used to do the show with, an old sponsor, and she was taking us around, and we're just going bar to bar. Hey, do you want to go to a place that has pinball? Yeah, totally. We'll go there. And we went to some other spot, and then she's there. You know, well, you guys want to go to a strip club? Well, we're hungry. She's there like, well, you guys want steak? And it's, at this point, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I know a place that has like bacon wrapped filet mignon for like $10 or something like that. And we went to, what was it, the Acropolis, right?
Yep. The Acropolis. It's like everybody goes there for the steak.
Which is crazy. Yeah, they don't go there for the strippers. They go there for the steak. So.
I heard they go there for I heard they go there for the lasagna.
I totally forgot. We go there, Jay got lasagna.
I knew that was coming. The second that I heard the Acropolis,
I totally forgot about it.
He's going to tell the lasagna story. And Dan will pick on me incessantly because we went out one night and he got a steak and I got a lasagna. They brought the lasagna out. It looked like a lasagna that you would get at a strip club. Like, it was kind of terrifying, but it was so late at night. I ate the thing and was shameful. It had cheddar cheese on the top instead of mozzarella. The cheese was yellow on the top of it. I have the palate of a 6-year-old, so like when I don't even know the difference between cheese. Say that again.
Oh, is that BJ?
When you're drunk, everything tastes good.
Dude, listen, we live in Philadelphia, or at least I live in Philadelphia, and we have cheesesteaks, and there's nothing more of an example of like what tastes good when you're drunk versus like, what doesn't. Because if you go to Pat or Gino's in Philly and you go during the day sober, that shit does not taste like what it tastes like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So BJ, so one of the things, so I had asked BJ the other day, I said, wait, can I ask you a personal question? And she's probably thinking, oh God, what's this idiot going to ask me? But I'm like, is that tattoo real on your, so you got the tattoo, the Hug Life, right? It's this big tattoo. Because I'm looking at pictures of her and some are real.
Lick it off at the club now. They're like, that can't be real. Like, I'm drawing it on every shift.
I thought the exact same thing.
Those are old promo pictures, right? So, they're still relevant. I still look like that girl, but I don't have my tattoos. So I took new promo pictures as soon as I got this tattoo because I needed to look like the girl who's going to show up. But yeah, I put Hug Life on my body. I'm committed to the life.
So I have a question.
And I'm like, I'm all about that Hug Life. I'm a hugger, not a thugger. And I feel like we all could use a little bit of a hug. Not right now, though, because we're not allowed to touch each other.
Virtual hug.
But I did get a tattoo. Yeah, I got a brand new one last week. It's the only new one I've had in 2 weeks, and it was really painful. I'll share this with all of you. You're the first people to see this. So it's a little bit of a nod to Lorena Bobbitt because it does say Dick Slayer. It is a knife, a little blood dripping off of it. Because I want people to see that and go, does that girl fuck a lot of dicks? Or is she going to chop my dick off? And it's probably both.
You're going to suck it then chop it? Or chop it and then suck it? Which one? Which way does it go?
It probably limp once I chop it off, so better suck it first.
Speaking of dicks, so you got this guy out there, and so we met BJ, and we met this guy, and this guy's name is Dick Hennessy. Dick I, if you're out there.
BJ.
And he also, his car is the Vagina Mobile.
That's
right?
Correct.
It's like, I wish we had a picture of the Vagina Mobile. So we go to meet, I told Jay when we were going out there, okay, we're going to meet this guy. He's like really involved in all the clubs. He promotes all these different clubs and contests at them, but everybody keeps mentioning this guy and he's the guy to talk to. So I told Jay, I said, dude, we got a dinner meeting at like 9 o'clock with Dick Hennessy. He's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to meet some guy named Dick Hennessy. So we walk into place and this guy's got like, what are they, like Zubaz, like workout pants?
No. See, that's where you're wrong. See, and I will give Dick Hennessy some credit here. He had like some designer ass sweatpants on, and the fact that there are designer sweatpants at first scares me. But it was the one where like it's got like the big No, exactly. So again, I'm gonna give him his due on that one because but it's just funny to me then is like, do you really own $800 sweatpants? Like that's a thing, right? I mean, so yeah, whatever. I busted his balls about his sweatpants.
This crazy jacket. He has like all these like laminates hanging on him for all the contests. He does like the motorboating contest, the twerking contest, and
he's a character,
what is it, Motor Booty? And
Best the vagina beauty pageant, though. That's why he has the vagina mobile. Is the big vagina pageant.
when we came back from meeting with Dick Hennessy for the first time, I came back with a couple of copies of DVD copies of what's it called, the vagina contest or whatever, and I beauty pageant. I left them scattered around the office just so that random passerbys can like find DVDs named that stuck in our couch cushions.
Dick Hennessy. One of the things we'll miss about going to Portland.
Yeah, he's definitely a character. Like, you think about people or cartoon characters, he's one of those.
Good deal. So anyway, so what are you doing to keep busy right now? Like, because you're usually out and working and.
I'm really addicted to reality television anyways. That's what I do a lot of. And then also, according to New York City, you got to stay home and masturbate. That's their advice. So I'm doing a lot of that. I recommend all of you do it too. They say that there's no safer touch than your self-touch, or the safest partner is yourself. So, stick with that. I live alone, so I don't have a partner here other than Ted. Once in a while, maybe Ted and I might get free.
See that, Ted?
Yeah.
See that, Ted? We got a guy that works for the same Ted.
But I did have a recommendation for all of you to get freaky at home.
Let's see.
Working. Yeah, you can make your own pocket pussy. It's really easy. Dollar store. I don't know. Dollar store is probably still open because it's essential items. They got all the groceries and stuff. But they sell balloon kits. Right? You can make one of these at home. And it's $1. You get the balloons and a pump. You don't get this pump, but you get a pump. And, for really cheap, you can make yourself your own pocket pussy. And I'm about to show you all how. Now, I taught myself how to do this. It's really easy. You gotta make that. You gotta have a hole. You gotta have a hole to fuck. You gotta make that inner labia. Then we're gonna make that outer labia. Put my little twist in here. And then you gotta make the clit, right? You want this balloon to feel something.
I just like the sound.
Wiki, wiki, wiki.
And then, boom! You got yourself your own little pocket pussy. Demo. Your dick.
There you go.
That's big, but if it is, kudos. And then you can get that in there.
Okay.
And the key to that is, this is the key. You want to fuck it until it pops. Because that's how you know you had a good time.
And those are the only two things that you can make.
I can make dogs and things, and a giraffe. Would you rather I make you a giraffe, Dan?
Yes, I would like a giraffe.
All right, I'll work
Can you make a giraffe? I do.
You just want me to prove that I can make something other than a penis and vagina. I'm functional here. This is a funny thing. When I decided to become a clown, it was kind of quick and easy because I knew I was funny, but I also knew I already knew how to make balloon animals. And that's just a weird quirk I've had since high school. I mean, I already made a sword. You just, get a little on this end, but what's
it's all the imagination.
Okay, hold on, Kyle. I'm making a giraffe, and then we'll make you a sword. We've got time.
My giraffe, for me.
I can do two things at once. We can talk while I make balloon animals. It's just a little sneaky. It's gonna be a pink giraffe. It's a girl giraffe.
I can't tell my clown story here, but remind me next time.
What's Kyle's sword?
I don't know who's listening.
You don't know who's looking? Who are you afraid of?
I'm very touchy and quiet.
If anything, and I said no.
All right, so
I have none of those.
here's my clown story. Okay, you want my clown story?
Yeah.
Years ago, I was, I was dating somebody, and we had just started dating. But I was out there. I didn't want to get back into a relationship kind of thing. It was after a breakup, so I went to. Huh? You're such a dick. I know you're such a dick. His name was Jay, Anyway, so, and this is the day of like chat rooms and all that crap. So I was in this one chat room one time, and I started talking to this girl who's a musician, and we were talking about, it was a music thing. And she's there. I said, well, how do you make a living? She's there. I'm a clown. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you know? I didn't believe her. And she lived out in in San Diego or somewhere. Well, anyway, I'm living in New Jersey, and then one day I get a phone call that she's there. How far are you from Delaware? I'm like, an hour and a half, 2 hours. She's there. Oh, is there buses that run up by you? I'm like, yeah. She's there. I'm going to come up. You know, is it cool if I come up and visit you for a day or something? I'm like, sure. I didn't believe that she said she was a clown. I said, well, you could be ready to prove that you're a clown. She's like, oh, I got all my stuff. So she's over there, and we're just like partying. Now this like visit turns into like a 48-hour like crazy alcohol weed binge. And I just keep, one night I'm just so high, I'm like, make a balloon animal. And she just starts making all these balloon animals for me. I mean, she must have made, like, no exaggeration, like 20 balloon animals. And they're all over my house. So anyway, she goes back home. The other girl I was seeing at the time comes over, and she's there, what's with all the fucking balloon animals? Because there was balloon animals all over my house. And I'm like, oh, I was fucking a clown. And she just started laughing. She's like, seriously? I'm like, I was fucking a clown. She's like, fine, don't tell me. And then just like, that was it.
Sometimes things hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so not very often, but sometimes at the club when the ATM is broken, I will use my like Square reader to take credit cards. And you can't be a sex worker and take those things. If they find out, they'll block your account. But mine says BJ the Clown, and it's got a photo of me as a clown and like legit clowning services. But yeah, good luck explaining to your wife why you got a clown at 3 a.m.
Yep. It's
good too.
Trust me.
But it is Portland.
Giraffe. He needs longer legs, but you know.
Well, hold on.
That's very good.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, nice job.
Are we? Okay,
that is,
good job.
That's awesome.
That's impressive. So
speaking of safe sex, by the way, and ATM, did you see those? Jay, I sent you an article from the New York Post, but it's coming out from the New York mayor's office. Actually put a thing of the do's and don'ts for sex during the virus.
Ooh,
and the number one thing is no rimming. They actually wrote that in an official document that went out to everybody.
So does that make rimming an official word? Like,
I found a really funny video on my phone where I was giving the girls in the dressing room a lesson on dental dams. So I guess if you really needed to rim someone right now, use a dental dam. But I don't know, somebody left a bunch of them at the club for the girls, and all the young girls didn't know what a dental dam was used for. So I demonstrated, and it was a lesson no one.
For you, that should be.
Can you deep throat a balloon?
I can deep throat a balloon. Hold on, I was making sword.
Yeah, Dan,
we'll make this
asking
back.
that important
sword swallowing.
That's an important question.
The important question. Can you eat that? I sure can.
Or can you eat a balloon? I should say. Can you eat a balloon?
I'm gonna eat it. My standard.
It's a balloon. It's not anything else. You just got to make it soft and lubey.
Yeah, lube it up.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't even buy me dinner first.
No,
Did you get your rim shot there, Jay?
No, not really. I'm deciding between like. I think probably just about.
That's a trick balloon.
Yeah.
You got the yay sound effect?
Oh man! Wait! She's still going.
Yeah.
She's still going.
Little Jack. Practice. It's been a few weeks, you know.
Gonna die, clown!
There's something.
No, that's impressive.
This is impressive.
That's right. It's coming back.
And
What?
we're gonna be the first ones to lose a Twitter account.
Oh my God!
Whoa.
That is
dude. Oh my God.
I hope you're spit it out now.
Oh no,
Makes
she's
them
gonna swallow it. In the world of she
For that.
got to be Rona safe.
Did you really? Wait, you just ate the balloon?
Oh my God.
Good job with diet. Little latex.
But that should go with like years of balloons. I wonder how long it takes. How long does it take a balloon to disappear from your system?
Yeah, that's a good question.
She's gonna test balloon positive at least for 30 days.
I mean, you might say I'm a little bit of a lunar now.
Oh,
I didn't know this about myself.
oh,
But,
man.
you know what that is?
No,
A lunar?
Yeah,
What is it?
the people with the balloon fetish.
Oh, that's right. There's people that like people popping balloons.
So
I mean, there's like three. There's people who just like to rub them. There's people who are really not into popping them. I'm definitely a popper, but yeah, there's like people like to just like bounce on them. Kind of like rubber doll, like super into the rubber part and the latex of it, that kind of thing.
Oh, dude.
That noise?
So one of the very first AVN shows that I went to back in the day in Vegas had a booth there that I was walking around. I was walking around with my wife, and their whole thing was about blowing balloons up. And you would literally like come over to the booth, and they would give you a big balloon, but they would make you blow it up. And of course, little did you know that balloon was going to end up being like 2 feet, 3 feet wide. And so it took her like a good 10 minutes. And by the time that you're done, there's like a group of people just like, and you look around, you're like, now I get it. Now I understand. Like that's. Oh,
You get to watch me blow things and stuff.
Oh,
That's a cheap date.
That's a good comment just now.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
IZNTO just said, "Mom?" Question mark.
That's your bedtime. Don't worry, I'm gonna spank you later.
Oh man, let's see. The comments are always really interesting, and by interesting, I usually mean dumpster fire. So let's see what we got going on here. I mean, literally, like I scroll through this shit, and I just like it terrifies me. Oh my God, for the future of the world. Yeah, well, that's about that. You are not a member of
somebody asked
the Insane Clown Posse, is that correct? Because that's what somebody wants to know.
I've been to an Insane Clown Posse concert. It was definitely one of the most interesting people watching I've ever seen. Those concerts are all ages.
Listen,
I don't know if you know this.
when a clown stripper goes to a group and says she's people watching, it means that some shit's going down. Is basically what that means, right? There's like, that's crazy.
Juggalos.
The juggalos.
But it's all
Somebody.
and there's like tons of like 8 to 12-year-old boys there. But I met a baby there, like a little tiny baby at a concert. I'm like, I don't know if the baby should be here. Like, it's kind of loud, but it's my favorite picture from the concert ever because I look horrified. I'm like pointing at the baby, and the baby looks super happy to be there.
Baby's like smoking a blunt. It's like chilling, seeing what's going on.
The baby, children, the parents kind of look like children too. But yeah, so they call all the Juggahos to the stage.
Okay.
And I had on face makeup, and if you had on face makeup, you couldn't go to the bar. So my date was at the bar, and he goes, they called all the Juggahos to the stage, and I just knew if I looked up, there you'd be. And sure enough, I was on stage with them. And I just kept putting my penises in their face while they were rapping. They didn't like me very much.
Hey, at Ed Kittle asked, do you do bondage modeling videos and pictures only? And do you want to do haircut caping modeling, whatever the fuck that is?
I don't know what that is. I need more explanation. Haircut caping modeling. Like you put on the cape and then you get your hair cut?
Ed, we're wondering, Ed. You got to let us know here.
Cut very often?
By the way, I
don't know. Maybe he thinks your pink hair is real.
I did have an idea, Dan, today. I think that one of the next upcoming Exotica TV episodes has to be how to cut people's hair, because I realize now that like every dude in America is now going to have to like deal with this shit. And as my afro expands and the gray hairs get grayer, and your side hairs come out, like we're all gonna, we're gonna need a
Yeah,
haircut.
see, I'm hoping I do need a haircut after this is all over because I don't have much left. So
Dude,
I used to have a full head of hair, and hair.
Comb it over.
That's all good. Speaking of hair, by the way, BJ, does the carpet match the drapes?
There's no carpet, so no.
You know what?
Hardwood floor.
That is the right answer. That is the right answer.
But that was a good question too.
No, it is. It's.
That was at Dick Hennessy asked that question.
Dick Hennessy
at Dick Hennessy.
I was like, he is trying.
Dick XXX
At
Hennessy.
Actually, Ted, who works with us, who's our production director, he had actually, he has an affinity for clowns. He loves clowns more than anything.
No, he does not. Don't do that to him. It's not fair. And by the way, but you know yourself, like he does not like clowns. There's nothing good about clowns except he's like, BJ's cute, and so she's a cute clown, and that, like, I think you're safe. What I will say is I've totally forgot about this story until now. The first time BJ and I met kind of over email when we started planning the show in Portland, and we went back and forth, and we kind of, like, I talked back and forth, so we kind of knew each other. And the very first night that we got to Portland, we did our exhibitor meet and greet, and I was standing there talking to somebody, and this girl comes over and just stands next to me and, like, looks at me, and I look completely blankly back, and I think, like, oh my God, like, who is this person? And just kind of tried to shift and, like, ignore her. And, like, 12 minutes later, Dan comes over to me at the bar, and I hadn't seen him yet that night, and he says, hey, did you see BJ? And I'm like, who? And he's like, BJ McNaughty. And I'm like, oh my God. And it hit me at that moment that you don't always wear clown makeup. Like, literally was like, that was, I had never, it didn't click, it didn't, whatever, like, I knew you as BJ McNaughty, and there was no other person.
Okay, so we got our answer from Ed about the cape modeling. Just tell her that you just sit down in the salon capes and PVC salon capes around your neck and model. That is all.
I hate to shame his kink. It just sounds a little boring. I'm not good at sitting still.
You see that, Ed?
Where do you live, Ed?
She's talking shit, man. She's talking shit.
And at Thumper Mammy says, naturally, sometimes the carpet doesn't match the floor. I'm a redhead with a gritty thing.
With a gritty
Whatever that means. So.
Gritty, like the mascot?
I don't know what a gritty thing.
I don't know.
Or gritty kitty.
Gritty thing
Did
could
she
mean
call her
a lot. So the one other thing that I did want to mention, and in doing my research of today's topic, was that BJ has been on the Jerry Springer show, and this is amazing because Jerry Springer is an icon, and I had to do the deep dive. I got the video, and so
we're gonna get Jerry to Exotica.
Chicago, man, Exotica Chicago. He'd be amazing. So I want you to tell us about. I'm gonna play the video in the background, and I want you to tell us about what your Jerry Springer experience was.
Well, first off, I'd like to say it was a bucket list item to be on Jerry Springer, and it was his last season, so I'm like, oh my goodness. And they called me. They were like, we heard you're fun. I'm like, I am fun. But they kept wanting this drama and all these, like, weird scenarios where I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not on brand for me. Stop calling me. And then 2 weeks later, they called
you need to beat somebody or, like, come out there and scream, it's not my baby?
A couple friends, they really wanted a couple. And, like, me to, like, interrupt this couple's thing. Like, maybe they find out the husband's addicted to clown porn. Because, it's also real.
Right.
And so I said no to all that. And then they called and they said, no, it's Halloween and we just want to feature you. You can just come on and just dance. Because they do that with strippers, too. And by that time, I had come up with an idea. And so they let me pretty much produce my whole segment. I got to pick what I was going to wear, what I was going to do, what I was going to say. And it was a really good experience. I had so much fun.
Control. That's impressive.
Yeah, it wasn't just fun, like, doing the show, because I literally flew to Connecticut for 24 hours and then was right back home. And part of the fun was the hotel. because all the guests of the Maury Povich show and the Steve Wilkos show and the in 3 hotels next to each other. And the amount of drama just happening in the lobby and out front of the hotel was like priceless. It was so much fun.
Was it just like midgets fighting in the lobbies and like
fake fighting, like legit practice fake beating each other up? And then there was like a couple who were actually fighting out there. There was a couple.
The video I'm watching now is of you like doing a dance to some dude wearing a red honker on his nose. You're rubbing him down with something. Like what exactly did you decide to do? Oh wait, now it plays out.
Oh, those are all my panties. That's my
yeah, we're watching it.
My amazing panty act.
That must have been a fun hotel.
That was a great hotel. This is the whole experience. Oh yeah, and there was a lady in the room next to me. They were clearly having sex, and she was yelling "Daddy," and in my head, it really was her father.
Dude, that is, you know what? Like
it is Springer. It could have been.
But yeah, no, Jerry Springer was amazing. I met another clown on there. I brought another clown on there to meet him that I had met online, and was like, well, this is our chance to meet him in person. And he had a bigger following than me, so I'm like, well, I need this guy. His name's Richie the Barber. He's got his whole face tattooed to be a clown.
See, and therein lies the beauty of this. Like, you have to see, like, what does your Rolodex look like? Like, what is your phone like? Do you have like, hey, I can call the lizard guy, and I can call the fork-tongued, stripper that can jump from airplanes?
I know someone who knows that person.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. I keep a lot of freaks around. And then in all my years of working in the adult industry, I've just met a lot of people. So, it's good to be nice and collect those people.
Yeah.
Ed just keeps telling us he lives in Tucson, Arizona. The haircut guy lives in Tucson, Arizona.
I wish I
capital of the world.
Newsflash. the haircut guy. What was it? He lives in North Carolina? What? I don't understand.
No, Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
Tucson, Arizona. I said the meth capital of the world.
No, that's just because you've been watching too much Breaking Bad.
That was New Mexico. They're in New Mexico. It's a totally different state, dude.
Okay.
But what's his latest on the hair cape?
What?
What's the latest on the hair cape?
He lives in Tucson, Arizona. Yep. You want to go haircut cape modeling?
Does girl have money in it?
We need a seminar. We need a good seminar. That could be a good seminar. Contact us, Ed. Email Ted at 3XEvents.com.
Is there actually any hair cutting involved, or are you just wearing the cape?
I think you're just wearing the cape, it said.
Okay. Shit. There goes the planet.
I'm getting my hair cut, so.
So speaking of like hotels and those are crazy hotels, we don't make we're that group when people come into our hotels or wherever. Like the Miami Beach Center had accidentally booked a senior prom next door to us one year, and parents were flipping out about that. We were in a hotel with a bereavement group where for people who have lost children. We were at the furries were there with us at the same time one time. What else, Jay? Who else has been our neighbors? Oh, there was a couple of times weddings, and these people come back, and usually one was crying in the lobby, another one went to our swinger or lifestyle party that was there on their wedding night.
I'm telling Miami, all the staff were at the swinger lifestyle party afterwards. Dressed in pink stuff.
Miami Velvet. But Jay's leaving us a little bit. I think he's going to poop.
You gotta use some of his hoarded toilet paper.
He's going to poop. Yes, for toilet paper. So you already showed us how you make a balloon animal toilet paper. Balloon animal?
I don't think so, but anything's possible. Let's try. I don't think that's really very useful in the wiping of one's ass. He's definitely going to pee.
Are you stocked up on toilet paper?
No. That was one item I can't find on the shelves, but luckily my mother lives nearby and she was like hoarding off the toilet paper. But she was hoarding toilet paper before all this started, because she just hoards things.
So, what was it? with this whole thing, I mean, do you like? Did you live in an apartment building?
I live in a house that's turned into an apartment, like a big old craftsman house.
So they're like all your neighbors, like everybody knows what you do for a living and everything, and everybody's cool.
Probably not, but I mean, when it was working, there's 3 or 4 nights a week where I leave my house dressed like this. So some people are probably like, "What the fuck's going on with this girl?" Yeah. But Portland, as big of a city as Portland is, it's still pretty small, and so a lot of people also know who I am and what I do. So they're probably like, "Oh, that's where that girl lives." But yeah, I mean, I've been in the weekly papers and things like that. So.
Oh, Ed just hit us back, and he says, "Tell her I will pay her to model and get a haircut." So he does cut your hair. That's a deal breaker, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't want my hair cut.
Doesn't want her haircut, Ed.
And that's don't cut it.
Sorry, Ed. So what's your go-to thing? Like, what did you really stock up on before the whole stay-at-home came out?
Well, I was really worried about cat litter, more important than toilet paper, because, I mean, my apartment can't become the cat box, right? The cat's really important. So cat food, that was another thing, because I'm not, you know, you make jokes about I could eat the cat, but I'm like, no, the cat's going to eat me before
That's how that shit works. By the way, you know that, right? Like, if you have a cat, if for any chance, like, you know, listen, in the middle of the night, you know, you just stop breathing and you die, you know what happens? Your cat eats your face.
That's exactly what happens.
That's what happens. Like, if you have a cat, that cat will eat your face. Your dog? No. Dog doesn't eat a face.
So,
cats, they will eat the face.
Hi. And your cat eats your face, does your cat get the coronavirus?
You know what? At that point, everybody's got corona.
So
I'm not doing very well at my toilet paper roll making.
That's very good.
So with the that could work.
Yeah.
What we asked about? I told everybody you went to go poop.
Me? You went to go pee.
I heard you. I'm on headphones and saw the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I just want to recognize that, like, in 5 days, we started this thing 5 days ago, and this shit has been a semi-train wreck since we started it. At this point, there is a bar set that I can actually get up and go pee in the middle of a segment and have it not like crash the entire thing, and everybody, like, you know, go offline and Periscope start freaking out and weird, horrible, hateful Twitter comments. You know, so like I just was able to actually get up and move without destroying the whole thing. I'm kind of impressed.
So another thing you asked me about, Dan, about stocking up was weed, like, because that's becoming harder to get. I live in a state where it's recreational and legal, and you can go to the store anytime, but most of the stores are closed, and the ones that are open are only doing, like, outside delivery to the curb, and there's no, like, sales like there usually is. But I really need a new bong. I have one on my Amazon wish list, by the way, people. But yeah, you can't get one right now. There's no getting a bong. So I'm stuck with this one that's not working.
That's old. That's like OG smoking shit.
A bong?
Yeah, like, you know, everybody. There's so much, like.
Says Dan, since Dan, the oldest guy in the room.
I am the oldest guy in the room.
I can't smoke actual weed, but I'm old school. I want real weed. Like, nothing does that better. And I like the bong, because you see that water after you smoke it, it's all gross and dirty. Like, that could be in your lungs.
But you know, like, you know, with the leftover, like, you know, from, you know, if you vape weed or something, you can make like cookies or butter for it. I mean, I wonder if you could like make like boiled pasta and bong water, and it would be good.
Oh, it would be disgusting. Have you ever smelled bong water?
I'm kidding.
He's like,
so
just kidding.
Is, though,
just kidding. Just kidding. I wasn't really thinking about that. But just kidding. I would never do that. I would never do that.
But you have to stock up on like cookies or Doritos too now because you got the weed?
No, I actually don't eat gluten, so those things are off my list. Anyways, I've got a bunch of food.
Girl. She doesn't eat shit like that. That's not how they work.
I'm not. Like, one of the things I miss the most is my hot yoga classes and going to the gym and working out with a personal trainer. So I am getting fat, but I'm not eating those things. I've been making a lot of soup. I'm really big on making soup because most soups have gluten or potato in them, and I don't eat any of those things, so I make my own. I've made 3 kinds of soup in the last week.
We have to have you on. We have another show called Fork You. It's a cooking show.
By any chance,
I like
any of those soups black bean soup? Or were they Brandy's black bean soup?
Brandy loved made black bean soup.
chicken noodle soup with rice noodles, and I made a beef vegetable soup.
Very nice.
So Anthony on Periscope wants you to know that he had the virus last year.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm glad that you recovered, Anthony.
You know, before it left Wuhan. Well,
Before it existed.
like,
No, because on the Lysol bottle, the Lysol bottle says it fights the corona.
this is the dumpster fire of comments that I'm talking about. Like, please, people, just say something normal. Like, I want to be able to say,
Well, welcome.
hey, here's
Him
like,
getting the corona though, as if he was wearing a hairstyle cape.
But you only said it was a deal breaker when he asked me to cut your hair.
That's definitely a deal breaker. We all have
You
to
just-
okay? I don't have a lot of deal breakers, but cutting my hair is one of them. We can dye it whatever color, but we can't cut it.
Ed Kendall still wants to know, guys. He lives in Tucson. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Listen, the fun
You want your email.
I think someday, like, when the whole world is just like a barren wasteland of, like, you know, post-apocalyptic like mess, that somebody will stumble upon happy hour-ish on Exotica TV and will think, what the fuck happened? Like, you know, it's just, I see it all coming down. It's going to come down. Dan, what do you say?
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
I say, all right, so two cannibals eat a clown. One says to the other, hey, it tastes funny.
Of course it tastes funny.
Oh my God.
Come on, that was good.
This is what happens when
She made the honking sound.
Okay, so right now, being out of work, all the strippers are flocking to online resources to pay their bills.
right.
OnlyFans is big. I just started my OnlyFans a couple weeks ago when all this started. And I'm still doing Facebook, Instagram, all those things. But my number one online, like, custom video request is either pieing someone in the face or taking a pie in the face myself.
Dude.
So the other day, I took my first pie in my face.
What does it
I
cost,
wasn't in clown makeup.
what does it cost to smash you in the face with a pie?
Well, this particular guy paid me.
Sorry, you don't have to
but
share this.
he-
But I'm wondering
Well,
what the
it's
going
self-smashing.
rate is.
But I also knew he was going to buy several of them. And then the funny thing is like, okay, we're in quarantine kind of, right? But it was a bad girl, and I snuck out. And I went over to this guy's house, and I just figured I'll bring the whipped cream and the plates with me, and I'll discuss it with him later. So we're like in his kitchen drinking, and he looks at my purse, and he's like, so what's up with that? And I have to have this awkward conversation where like, hey, I need you to pie me in the face. And he got so into it. He became like the best Instagram boyfriend ever all of a sudden in that moment.
Yeah, like,
We made
that's the opportunity of a
mess.
lifetime.
Yeah, no, we made the biggest mess out of his living room, even though I insisted on the shower. And then he paid me $100 because he was having so much fun doing it.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. So like I know, like, when I, was dating and stuff, I used to, people, and when I got to what I did for a living at the time, I was the editor for Men's Magazine. That, that was like, oh, I would always see this, like, kind of afterwards. But I mean, I assume you date and stuff. Like, do you ever, and how long does it take to get into, like, what you do for a living if they don't know what you do for a living already?
I mean, generally they know what I do up front, and it would be weird to really hide it from them. I know, like, when I first started this, I was figuring out Tinder, and that lasted all like 2 weeks, and as myself. And then I would Tinder as the clown. I got kicked off of Tinder 6 times because I would literally just fuck with dudes on Tinder. That gave me a bit of joy afterward
Dan
when I
does
was
the
bored.
same thing. It's weird. He fucks with all the dudes on Tinder. It's crazy.
Like, you shouldn't tell people that you're a stripper. And I'm like, well, what should I tell them? And he's like, maybe that you're a hairdresser. And I'm like, that's weird. But he had no problem with me being a stripper.
But why is hairdressers and strippers? Why is the closest connection? Is that like where it is? It's like you could either be a stripper or
9
just.
p.m. to 3
Okay.
So that's a weird time.
See, my girlfriend's a hairdresser, and she comes home with like a shit ton of singles. So most people think she's a stripper when she's like, when they take things out. So I guess it's a good cover.
I've seen Kathy's boobs. Have you ever followed her to work? Because that could be a thing.
You've never seen her boobs.
I've seen them.
You've never seen her boobs.
I mean, I guess you just have to follow me on OnlyFans to see my boobs, huh?
Oh, dude. So actually, so with that, let me ask you. So we talked about your OnlyFans. I mean, like, is that as you're stayed in? Like, are you? That's your thing. Like, that's your link to the outside world.
That's my link to the outside world right now. I've been directing everybody there. My work's been really great. The Kit Kat Club here in Portland has been promoting all of the girls like Cash Apps and Venmos. Just try to help any way they can. But I haven't really been making any new content. I've been living off of stuff that's already in my phone from all my traveling the last 5 years, and right. I've got some pretty funny shit in my phone. Like me hanging out with porn stars doing really funny things.
Listen, when you go
what's your favorite
into the catalog, it's always fun to pull something out like that.
What's your favorite part about? You've been to a couple of Exoticas. Unfortunately, you weren't able to make Jersey, but you did Portland, obviously, and Miami last year. This year, you're planning on doing all of our shows, all 4 of our shows, when this shit finally, gets a little bit cleared up. Hopefully, our first show is going to be in Chicago, July 31st through August 2nd. Actually, I'm sorry, DC is going to be June 5th or 7th. Before that, so, but yeah, I mean. When you've been to the shows, what's your favorite part of it so far?
So I'm excited and looking forward to all of them this year. I'm planning on being at all of them when they do happen. And I really like meeting all the other people who are there vending and the other porn stars and the girls. It just your staff. It just kind of feels like a family. And after doing Portland, I couldn't wait to be in Miami. And Miami was really fun. Like, we all stayed in the hotel, which is right next to the convention center. And I'm like, why aren't normal fans booking rooms at this hotel? Because literally during the day, all the porn stars were hanging out by the pool and all night long just partying.
They did stay there.
You know what? It's like it's kind of the quiet secret of all the people that know what's up, that you know where to go, right? And
the party animals of the pool party. We started a naked night swim.
Dude,
we know nothing about that.
My mouth is closed. Well, listen, BJ, I just want to thank you. This has been here's our happy hour-ish. We're kind of celebrating the fact that we have survived an entire week. Literally, what was it, Dan? 2 weeks ago, we closed down the office in Philadelphia and pretty much just sent everybody home with their desktops and basically we're like, listen, we'll see everybody when this clears, and that day we got home and Dan and I jumped on a call and, we were talking about what the hell are we doing? If we're not producing trade shows, how do we kind of keep doing what we're doing? And so 5 days of actually surviving Exotica TV is pretty impressive, Dan. So I just want to give you an applause. Yay, nice job. But seriously, and to Ted and Alex and the entire Exotica crew of doing all this stuff, to go from being a trade show production company to being a video production company in 12 hours is kind of impressive. So I guess my good question here is, and I want to go right to left or left to right, I guess, depending on how you look at it, is I want Dan, I'm going to ask you first. What's your best takeaway from tonight?
That I don't think we've had any major technical glitches tonight for the first night.
Impressive, right? Dude, 5-day learning curve.
Knock on.
Kind of impressed. All right.
5-day learning curve.
Go. So, and BJ, what's your...
we didn't make, and also, I got one more. That you didn't make it through a show without telling me that I'm...
I give up. No, I quit. No, we're going home. I've had enough. That's it. Kill it. Just kidding. Okay, go for it, Dan.
That you didn't make it through a show either, that you didn't mess up your streak of saying that I'm gay, when I'm not. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
He's only slightly gay, but that's okay. So, hey.
Just a tip, Jay.
Just a tip. So.
What about you, Jay? What's your favorite?
No, it's BJ's turn. She's in the middle. So what are your thoughts? What is your takeaway from this, BJ?
And God bless America.
If you need somebody to smash up,
right now is those people like Ed in Tucson, Arizona.
God bless Ed. That's what it comes down to. I learned that you can actually,
And then hopefully, yeah.
in the during the lockdown, you can pay people to smash other people in the face with a pie, or smash themselves.
Yeah, I'm trying to do more of that later. I'm looking for somebody in this quarantine that's
So
willing to smash me in the face.
Mention your social media one more time, because we're going to have a ton of people that are trying to find you.
Okay, well, I'm on all of them. I'm on, I've got bjmcnaughty.com. And then I'm on Facebook, official BJ fan page. If you want to get a BJ and you're the official fan of it, official BJ fan page, or you can just type in that BJ McNaughty and you'll get to me. Instagram, BJ McNaughty, Twitter, BJ McNaughty PDX, because BJ McNaughty was already taken.
Bastard.
And then definitely OnlyFans. Get on there, buy some content, tip a girl, show some love, have some conversation with me. I'm bored.
Get down with the clown.
Yeah, OnlyFans, BJ McNaughty.
Hug life.
Yay.
Hug life.
So listen, I'm going to wrap this
Hug
thing.
life.
We're going to call it a day. We're going to call it a week. Like we have officially survived our first week. Congratulations.
Cheers.
We got a bunch of cool guests coming up. Should we tell them who some of the guests we got coming up in the future?
Go for it, Dan.
We got Ray Sunshine, Tara Patrick, Ariana Marie, April O'Neil's going to be coming on. Nikki Delano's going to be doing something. Some of the companies, Chatterbait, I believe, is going to be coming on. Bad Dragon.
Yep.
The Bad Dragon guys love you. Actually, they're going to have a gift coming your way soon, BJ. Oh, you got the dragons. And yeah, the whole mess of other people down the road. Katie Morgan, Evan Stone. It's going to be a fun ride. Hopefully we get Penny Poison on, Sassy Cassie.
So
Cassie.
the key, I think,
really
to
fun.
it is to follow us at EXXXOTICA, at EXXXOTICA on Twitter or Periscope, and let's see, YouTube. We're on there, and Facebook and all that other stuff. And we're going to do this all again next week. I think we learned a lot in the last 5 days, and geez, this might actually work. So thank you guys. Episode 5, we're out.